Last time on Froe Plays Minecraft. What I really like about this road is as you're traveling up, it kind of like curves to the left and like goes uphill. I think it's got a really grand feel to it. And I think something that would add to that is if we had statues here, there, and there. So over the next couple episodes, I want to build those statues up. But I do want to dedicate them to you guys, actually. So the way we're going to do that is, if you leave a comment in this video, I'm going to pick one of your comments randomly and build a statue for it. Now, I'm going to try to build a contraption that chooses your comment randomly, but we'll do that next episode, I think, or in a little bit here. And then here is the sacrificer itself, or chooser. I shouldn't say sacrificer. We're not sacrificing the comments. Cool, so I think I got a good enough design now that we can probably be done working on it at the moment, and we can come back to it later. And here we are, a couple hours later, believe it or not. I've been working on and off on this thing for a bit. Here is the statue. I think it turned out pretty good. So this is the statue. I think it turned out pretty awesome. And here we are in episode 40 of our Let's Play series. Thank you for joining me. A reminder that this is a vanilla-ish series, so we do have data packs installed. And we're going to be exploring one of them this episode, the Better Genetics one. Trying to improve our mushroom horde a little bit and get some better drops there. The other thing we're going to be doing this episode is working on our Furnace Fuel Farm 2.0 a little bit more. And then also doing some nether resource collecting. And then we're also going to finish up this episode by building the 5th and final statue in our little statue road here we have. I don't really know what to call it yet. I guess if you have a name suggestion for this road, that'd be awesome. But like you guys have seen in the intro, we have 4 statues built already, and we got our 5th one here. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for participating. It's been really fun, and you guys have been really kind to me about the statues as a whole. That makes me feel really good and really motivates me to keep going here. Just for reference, the statue designs I have been coming up with myself, which probably explains stuff like this, not making too much sense. But like I said last episode, some of the stuff I build, you have to use your imagination for a little bit to make it make sense and look good. But most of the designs are based off of pictures that I see on Google Images or like on Reddit. So I shouldn't get all the credit. It's really, I'm stealing ideas from other people. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started for today. A couple episodes ago, we added a data pack to our world that gives mobs some genetics. And so that's kind of what we're looking at right now. And we started trying to breed the perfect horde of mushroom cows. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of progress on that. So in this pen here, we got like the best of the best cows overall. And they have like some of the higher stats compared to the cows outside of here. And I noticed an interesting trend in our horde here. Our 2 stats, growth and fertility, are actually always going to trend upwards, which means like, you know, as you grow your horde, these ones are going to tend to maximize on their own without having to try, depending on how you breed your cows. What I mean by that is fertility affects how fast you can breed your cows, and growth affects how fast they grow up. So if you have a really fertile cow and you have a couple of them, you can breed them together a lot more often than infertile ones, which means then that as you breed your hordes together, cycle after cycle, you're going to tend to have more and more of the more fertile cows be born, if that makes any sense at all. So since they're more fertile, you can breed them more often. So the more fertile they are, the more you're going to be able to breed them. So it means the more there are, so on and so forth. It's like a positive feedback loop. And similarly, the growth stat kind of does the same thing. So if you have 2 cows that have high growth and high fertility, you can breed them together and create offspring that are also breedable quicker than lower ones. Which means then that without even having to try, as long as you're breeding your cows as often as possible, those 2 stats are going to naturally maximize themselves to some degree, which is kind of cool. And right now then, so what we're kind of really trying to maximize is bulk. And the way I've been doing this is I sit around and I breed my cows as often as I can for quite a while, get a couple hundred of them together, and then I go through and I take care of the weakest link. So like this guy, he's a weak link, right? He's got 3, 3, and then he's got a 2. So He doesn't belong. Oh, this guy's got gills. We might want to hold on to him because mutations are pretty cool. Gills allows them to breathe underwater and also move faster underwater, so that's kind of neat. Oh, this guy's okay. He's got all threes. He's not ideal, but he'll work. And this guy's fireproof, so that's also a really cool mutation. Now, this guy has pretty good growth and pretty good fertility and bulk. Right? Bulk is the one that we really want. So I'm going to keep him alive just because he's got a higher bulk, even though his skin thickness is a 2. So I wanted to explain this just a little bit better. Say we have 2 cows that have level 2 fertility. They're going to be able to breed every 5 minutes. And we have 2 cows that are level 5. They'll be able to breed every minute. Which means that by the time I can breed these cows together again, I could already have bred these ones 4 more times. Which means then if you're breeding your cows as often as possible, eventually there'll be more level 5 fertilities than level 2 because you can just breed them more often. So it's kind of like a pretty good example of how positive traits show themselves in an evolution in some sense. All right, sorry for spending so much time with our mooshrooms here. This will be it, and then we're going to move on. So this guy has bulk 4, which means he's going to drop 2 to 4 steak. And we also have looting 5, so let's see how much steak he drops. And it looks like 5. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's try that again. We got 2 this time. Okay, interesting. So this guy has heavy mutation, which means he's not affected by knockback. So let's try that out. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a nice trait to have. Well, I've been seeing a lot of fireproof, so I figure we should test that too. So where did that guy go? Fireproof. Oh, that's actually really cool. I wonder if we can make something related to that. So it looks like even though he's immune to it, he's still like freaking out because he's on fire. Which is kind of funny. In a morbid way. Oh, sorry, sheep. This data pack is very quickly becoming my favorite one. Hey, a few episodes ago, we worked on the barn here, and I wanted to show some of the progress I've made. I've also been bringing our best cows up into their pens finally. So quite a lot of progress has been made on the barn, except for the backside. Still kind of ugly back here. And I don't like the brick interior either. Oh no, we lost him. Come on, bub. We want him over here. So I've been kind of categorizing our cows a little bit. This big central pen is going to be where we just kind of breed our cows together and try to get the best stock and the most efficient like food possible. So we have like some pretty high stats in here across the board, but no mutations, at least none that I've really, yeah, no mutations here. And that's because I've brought all the cows that have mutations to this side of the pen. So we got our featherweights over here, which are people who are not affected by, they basically fall like chickens do, right? They kind of like fly down, float or fly or whatever. We got heavy, who is resistant to knockback. We have fireproof, and we have gills / thorny. We don't actually have any gills people, but we do have one thorny person who will just, it's like having thorns armor. Who are you? You don't belong in here. Ooh, heavy. Ah, well, we'll take him. He's just one from the wild, though. That's why his stats are so terrible. But yeah, then over on this wing, we are going to put our best sheep. Right now, we don't really have any good ones yet, though. Oh, except for this guy. He can regrow his wool without having to eat grass, which is kind of a cool perk. And he's also regenerating, which is also good. And then here in this pen, we're going to put the best mushrooms we have. Like all 5 stats, everything possible. We just don't have any yet. These guys we're going to move back to this pen. Just been a little lazy. And there's actually a second level to this thing too, so let's check that out. Up here, I don't even remember what I have up here. Yeah, there's nothing up here yet, but I think we're going to put just storage or miscellaneous stuff. Maybe we could put like a chicken coop up here, or like an automatic chicken farm. I don't know. Any suggestions, that would be nice. But it has like a pretty cool overlook of the fields down below. A little bit though, it's you can kind of see through the fence. And then way down here, we got just like this entrance to the, like a way to get through the mountain up to the barn. And usually when I have a building like this, it means that I can put like redstone contraptions or machines in the walls because they're underground. They'll be easy to hide. So maybe we put like a bulk storage unit for like leather and like a bulk storage unit for steak or something. Or maybe an ender porter would be good there too. I don't know. And lastly, we got like this weird park thing I've been working on. So I don't really know. I don't think it's turning out so far, but your feedback or your help on building this would be cool. The idea was to have like a formal park kind of extending out from the barn. So obviously ignore that the barn's not done. But what I mean by park is we'd have like a couple trees in these grassy areas, flowers, maybe some bees, just something to add some life. And from like here on out, we would have a big old field and maybe put sheep on this side of the barn since we have mooshrooms on that side. I think that'd be kind of cool. We got like this weird, I don't really know what this is, like underground gold structure thing that has like a channel that leads out to the ocean. And we got a polar bear in here for some reason. I have no idea what I was thinking when I built this. It was just one of those days where I came on Minecraft and I just built. I didn't really put much thought into it. And this is the interesting result. So yeah, last episode, we did spend some time working on the Furnace Fuel Farm 2.0 and kind of redesigning our base alongside it. And I think this episode, we're going to continue to work on that project. So let's get started with that. So I'm trying to think about how I want to build this next part. And I think I'm kind of just clearing out some land right now. And I think what we might do is have this path go kind of forward and down at a slight slope. And it'll kind of eventually meet up with the backside of the automatic bamboo farm over here somehow. So like right here. And that is how we're going to get it to loop around there. And we will create some kind of wall here. And I think we're going to flip the automatic bamboo farm around so that it's facing this way and the bone meal is on the other side. So quite a big change, but honestly, it's going to save us a lot of time because then we don't have to redo any of this portion at all. All right, so we're coming across a couple problems. First and foremost, as we come this direction, we're kind of running into the field we had above. So I think I'm going to like add to the mountain a little bit so that the beacon isn't overhanging. So we'll probably just bring the fence in a little bit more than where it is currently. Just so we can make that happen. And we will get rid of this as well. Don't need any of this. But then also check this out. What I also wanted to do really quickly with you guys was I wanted to build a light indicator to determine how many how much shulker boxes we have in our storage system. And that's what we're going to do now together. I just got to clean my inventory quick. Okay, so this redstone line here is determining how many shulker boxes we have in our chest overall. I think, yeah, we can access that. And they should be fed into the dispenser now. Yep, right there. So this redstone line is going to determine how many shulker boxes we have in the system in total. And we kind of don't have that much room for it, but I think all we really have to do to make this look good is something like this. And then put redstone lamps next to those. Awesome. And then we can cover up these with like trapdoors or whatever we want. Stairs actually would probably work better because I think the trapdoors might get activated then. So just something simple like this. So that is what we're going to use to determine how many shulker boxes we have in the system overall. Let's see if we can put that to the test actually. And all we should have to do is just keep adding shulker boxes into here. Yeah. It's not going to be a 1-to-1, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit off, but I don't care that much about that. Like what I mean by that is every light isn't going to represent like a set value. It's just going to be like a light and like a very casual indicator. So let's see, how many does it take to get full? So we're almost there. It's basically full at this point, which is about half. Oh, I fall down. So that's not bad. That'll work. So I made a couple changes. First of all, I put the lamps on the bottom, and I lowered this whole hallway a couple of blocks now, just to make it a little bit easier to create like our ceiling and whatever else we need in that regard. I don't know how I'm gonna decorate this yet though. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit. But building is definitely the trickiest thing to do, especially to show it on camera, just because there's like so much trial and error. I don't want to bore people to death. So it's been a while since I've kind of tuned you guys in, and this is the progress I've made. So I've kind of like added on an addition to our building, or like our main storage room over there. And real quick, a little bit of a tip for you is if you change your field of view to 30, it's kind of like zooming in. So like normally it's at 70, so it's pretty zoomed out. Zoom on in, it looks a little bit better. So I've been using that trick to make like my thumbnails and stuff a little bit cooler looking. Anyways, let's go check out the new little bit of like addition to our base. So it's just branched right off from this hallway. So it's the same location that the old hallway branched out from. The old one went up though. This one's going down now. And the walls are a little plain still and a little bit of a work in progress. And I want to put something redstone related on this side of the wall, kind of like how we have our furnace field indicator on this side. So again, these things will just light up depending on how many shulker boxes we have in our deep storage unit. And we got our arches like we have in other parts of our base, so those look pretty good and they match. And then we got like those little windows on top, except for they're not quite even yet. So like this is what I mean. We have two of like the square windows, and then we got a rectangular one, then we got a square one, and then we got a rectangular one, and then we have just a single square one. So I gotta like redo these windows a little bit so that they're even. And the reason why they're uneven right now is because I added on this whole like 5x5 area to the addition of the base. It was gonna end here originally, but I extended it a little bit so that it transitions more cleanly into the rest of the base. So yeah, the next step then is going to be to build the automatic bamboo farm using bone meal. We already had a design that kind of worked for that, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I'm going to work on that. And then just kind of cleaning up the rest of this base, adding in some walls here so that the redstone gore is covered up. And finally, the other thing we have to do, get on out of here, is we got to fix this inside wall. It's kind of hard to see from here, actually. I thought you would be able to tell. So this wall up there with the quartz pillars and the sandstone walls there, we're going to change that up a little bit, extend that top wall out past here on this side and that side. And then I'm just going to reorder where the quartz pillars are so that it's a little bit more even. Because right now we have a 3 gap space between those two pillars, a 4 gap and then a 3 gap. It's going to be different once we add on there. Also, I guess I wanted to tune you guys in on this. The roof here is still a work in progress. I don't quite like how it's turning out so far, but it's getting there. And then we got to redo this room, unfortunately, because we're kind of butting up into it from the addition here, which is actually totally fine because the whole purpose of this room was just to feed it like plant matter so it can convert it into bone meal and then be shuffled down below. We had a bunch of hoppers. It's like here we have our composting bins, and then we had a bunch of hoppers that fed right down into the automatic bamboo farm. But we don't have it there anymore, so we can kind of move this or even get rid of this room if we wanted to. But yeah, that's going to have to wait for another episode here. We got quite a lot to do still on that project, and we're kind of running out of time this episode. So the other thing we should probably work on is gathering up some resources. Ever since we got a bunch of new shulker boxes, I've been just making resource runs where we like hit up the caves and do a bunch of diorite and andesite mining as well as like iron. And this time we're going to go to the nether and get some, nether resources I never really have after the update. I'm sure it's something that maybe only I really notice, but I do make these videos over several days. And it's now Saturday morning, like 5 days after I recorded the rest of the footage of this video. And so I got extra morning voice here, supplemented with some coffee. I guess one of the joys of having to make your videos just with the little bits and pieces of time you have throughout the week. I'll be honest, this has been a busy week, so I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, though. Thank you. I don't know what else to say about that. You guys are awesome in that regard. It really does make this enjoyable, and it's been tough. It's been tough the past couple of weeks trying to find time. Alright, so our goal for this resource collection is just get as much nether resources as possible. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. We can travel now freely now that we have our lodestones, which is good. And we're trying to get as much netherite as possible this trip. So we don't have fire resistant potions on, but check this out. We're not on fire. That's because we got this awesome piece of armor from our RPG datapack, Flame of the Firehawk, which, yeah, gives us fire resistance whenever we have it on, which is like perfect for netherite mining because you always hit these little lava pockets like this. So yeah, pretty cool little feature of the datapack. I really enjoyed just how much there is available in this datapack, like how many unique armors and stuff. Really adds a lot of diversity to the game. Maybe it's a little overpowered, I don't know, but it's still cool to get. And here we are a couple hours later. Let's get flying home. We got our lodestone compass out. Don't know how far away we are. Apparently not that far, because look at this. We got some wood here and a portal. Oh, that's kind of convenient. I don't remember being this close. Wonder what portal this is. I don't even know anymore. Oh, it's the Mesa portal. That's actually really convenient. I was going to come here next off camera though and get some terracotta built up in our supply now that we got all these shulker boxes. The last time we were here, we hadn't gotten to the end yet. So we had to, I remember bringing a llama and just filling up our inventory as much as we could. That was it. Could only bring like, you know, one inventory and a little bit more extra. And the ender chest of course too, but now we can bring like basically as much back home as we want. So huge upgrade there. And since we're here and we got the netherite, let's go ahead and make a lodestone for the portal and one on the nether side too. Out of all the mobs this datapack adds, the legendary skeleton is the weakest by far. So weak. Look at him. He's just a normal skeleton. He just got more health. Cool. So here are the fruits of our labor. Check this out. Tons of materials here. Always nice to have things on hand. I love going out and collecting resources and just stockpiling. But yeah, we got enough netherite to make a block of netherite. This actually took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I think it's worth it. So one block of netherite. Alrighty, it's that time again to throw our comments into the comment selector and see who's gonna get a statue built in their honor. I think we've got quite a few comments this episode, so let's go ahead and throw one on in. And I think we're gonna pick comment number 4 for today that appears in here. So Minecraft Guy 75, you are gonna be the winner for today. Congratulations. You've actually been leaving comments on quite a few episodes, so I'm really glad that your comment was picked here. The machine's just gonna keep going until it shuts off. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on building your statue. Yeah, so it's definitely becoming a challenge to come up with unique designs, but let's check this last one out here. And you guys are gonna have to give me a lot of feedback on all 5 statues in total. A reminder, by the way, I wanted to put leaves kind of, you know, decorated around the statues and some plants and flowers and stuff like that, just so it looks a little bit more decorated and a little bit less plain. But for the most part, this is kind of what it's going to be looking like in general. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. This is going to be Minecraft Guy 75's statue. And we have it indicated with a dragon head. And then we got another right. Got another right block up there. Now we got to fix this a little bit. Not a big deal. And up there we got a coal mob head just to kind of bedazzle or like make the, block look a little bit more 3D-ish. Kind of like how we have over there. And we got a couple netherite ingots there as well. And just for reference, the way that I turn my item frames invisible is just by splashing them with a potion of invisibility. It's part of the data packs we're using. We'll just go and do that. And then we go back to normal. Perfect. Using that same technique right there, I also added in some glowstone gems into the throne and some redstone block gems as well. Just a way to add a little bit of character, and tried something else there as well. I don't know, it just adds like a nice 3D effect and makes your throne look a little bit cooler, as well as the banners. I think those add a nice touch too. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with how the throne statue turned out, but any feedback would be nice. We are going to go ahead and call the episode here. Man, this is a long episode. Oh, I'm invisible. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate everything you guys have been doing the past couple of weeks here with these episodes. It's been making this really fun. Like I've been mentioning, work has been taking up a lot of my time. This week in particular, there's a handful of days where I was working 13-hour days back to back, and as well as like 9-hour days the other ones. So it's been a hectic week a little bit. All right, so enough rambling. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, and bye-bye.